Hello, so today I'm going to look at 4 confidence building strategies for athletes. And when we're looking at confidence here, we're really looking at what is known as prime confidence. Prime confidence is, very deep, lasting belief in your skill sets and your abilities to accomplish what you are setting out to accomplish, your goals, your vision, your dreams, whatever they may be. And too often confidence is based off of how we are performing. The last performance, if it was good, we feel good heading into the next performance. If the last performance was bad, we feel not as confident heading into the next performance. And we really want this prime confidence because it helps us to stay and remain confident even when our performance may not be where we want it to be. It also does help us not get overconfident when things may be on the easier side as well, right? So it really helps to keep us in that sweet spot, in that middle ground of confidence, not a roller coaster ride of we're confident one day, not confident the next day. And I hear this a lot from clients. I'll ask them, how do you build confidence? And they'll say, I need to play well, or I need to hit a home run, or I need to score 3 goals, right? They're very focused on when blank happens, then I will have confidence, versus saying I get to control my level of confidence and I'm going to really focus in on the process of building confidence on a consistent daily basis. And that's going to really help to anchor your confidence so that it's not, really fully based off of how your performance is happening to go, that day or that week, and maybe even sometimes that month, right? You're going to have some rough patches. That's a part of the journey, and you really need to have obviously really good, strong confidence, because that's what helps you to now get yourself back to where you need to be. So let's look at these 4 strategies. Strategy number 1 is your preparation. So preparation breeds confidence, and one of the things I just want to point out with this, preparation is in all facets of your performance. You may have all the physical preparation down, right? You have your practices, maybe your individual practices, weight training, right? All of these things, but you also have to look at your tactical preparation. And I think for a lot of you, you also probably cover this, right? Is studying things, watching game film, knowing your team's, kind of systems, right? Those kind of elements are obviously a part of the equation as well. Then you also have your mental and emotional preparation. And are you doing things to make sure you're going to be mentally and emotionally ready to go when your performance or when your competition comes? And I think sometimes this gets forgotten about, left out of the equation, or maybe not even considered just because people don't really know. So when we're looking at preparation, you have to look at everything, and you want to be able to walk into your competition knowing that you did absolutely everything you could in all areas to be as prepared as you possibly could be, that there was nothing left you could have done. And I'm not saying that you can't learn and grow. Obviously, it will evolve. What your preparation looks like will evolve as you do learn more about yourself and more about what you need, and as maybe the level that you are performing at increases. So it will adjust, but you still have to sit there saying, knowing what I know now, did I do absolutely everything I could do? And you have to, as I said, look at both the physical, technical, tactical, mental, and emotional preparations. And those are definitely things I'm going to look at in other videos, especially the mental, emotional. How do you prepare mentally and emotionally for a competition? So I'm going to leave that for those videos. Number 2, the second strategy here is your mental skills for in competition moments. You can walk into your competition and have been exceptionally well prepared, but if you don't have the mental skills or the toolbox of mental skills to know what you can do during the competition to help you with your confidence, to help you maybe bring yourself back if needed, or to maintain the confidence that you had that you built from your preparation, then sometimes it won't matter how prepared you are if you don't have those mental skill sets. For example, I've worked with a lot of athletes who, in one sense, maybe they're exceptionally well prepared and they head in feeling confident into their competition, but then their self-talk before the competition, during the competition, especially maybe after one mistake, is really negative, is really obviously kind of pulls them down, really leads to some self-doubt, and all of a sudden all that preparation they had almost is flushed and it doesn't matter anymore, and their confidence is now being dictated based off of their self-talk. And so you need to be able to have really great self-talk to be able to drop the story that you might be creating around a mistake, how it's going to impact your performance or your team's performance, so that you can just be in the moment that you're in and really have, either good neutral self-talk, which is very present moment, kind of action-oriented self-talk. For some people, maybe a little bit of positive self-talk will be beneficial for them. Obviously, it's dependent on you and what is going to work best for you, but self-talk is definitely one of those tools. Imagery is another tool that usually helps us in the competition setting itself with confidence. Can you do some imagery around, times that you have had that confidence and kind of bring that back to the surface? Remind yourself of your skill set, remind yourself of what you're capable of, using imagery after a mistake to kind of remind yourself of what you want to do without getting too into analyzing or self-talk around it, so you can kind of more stay present and not think too much about it. And then the ability to control your emotions, to be able to really find your ability to get into the emotional state that you need to, and also maybe to be able to combat some of those emotions that might start to pop up that could, really drain you and drain your confidence. So that's number 2. The third strategy is to train in adverse conditions. So when you're in your competition, very rarely do things go ideally. There's usually something that's going to pop up. It could be anything from you're a little bit tired that day, you have some lactic acid, you worry, something with your equipment malfunctions, right? There's all these various things that could start to happen. You get challenged by the other team, right? You're down by 2 goals, whatever it might be, right? There's usually some form of adversity when we look at competition. However, most often athletes will train in ideal conditions. And I'm not saying don't ever train in ideal conditions, but you're never then really training yourself and building the skill sets necessary if you only train in ideal conditions for those more adverse moments in competitions. And so you really want to add some adversity into your training. There's definitely stories out there when Tiger Woods was young and how his dad would kind of create these adverse conditions for him in his practice to help him for when he obviously was out in competition, such as jingling, coins in his pocket while he was trying to putt, or throw a ball right in his line of sight while he was, lining up his putt in practice, right? And obviously a ball probably isn't going to go flying across his line of sight while he's in competition, but it's just a way for him to learn to block out those distractions, to learn to focus in on his process, his procedure, really train his attention to not worry, and also to get used to those distractions and to realize they're not really a big deal, and to just get used to that. Those aspects that obviously when you're on tour, there's going to be various forms of distractions, noises, right? And so you have to be able to train yourself to be able to handle them. The fourth strategy is basically small successes lead to confidence. And too often we look for the big successes, and I'm not saying the big successes, the big wins don't help with our confidence, but if that's all you're relying on for your confidence, then it's going to be hard, because they're not always going to be there. They're not going to be there on a day-to-day basis. And you need to set yourself up that you basically have ability to kind of quote unquote win each day, right? To set yourself up for success on a daily basis, and to build that confidence through those small successes on a daily basis that will help you have that confidence you need to make and to have those big successes, which obviously then when you do, that's icing on the cake. But really having that focus on what can you do to win today, and it can be small things. It could be doing something that helps you to train in adversity that day and really testing yourself and finding a way to really overcome it, right? That could be a win for that day. Really focusing in on doing all of your preparation and doing it as well as you possibly can could be a win for that day, right? Really focusing on some small component of a technique or a physical skill set that you need to improve, and really seeing improvement, however small that might be in that skill set, obviously is another way that you can see that small success kind of form. So there you have it. There are 4 strategies to help you build prime confidence. Any questions? Feel free to reach out to me. But I hope that you're able to, start to maybe put some of these practices and strategies in place so that you can build that solid, long-lasting, deep confidence.